I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee. Yo-do-do-do-dee. I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee.
Well, here I am again, just kicking down the cobblestones and feeling groovy. Welcome to the Breakfast with Barry Lee podcast. Let's jump into the brain buster. 22% of men have neglected going on a second date with someone because of this. Because of what? Is it A, she was too flirty with other guys? B, she talked too much about her ex? Or C, she wore too much perfume? Your answer's coming up in just moments. So we've got a busy week this week. Looking at the podcast planner, nationaldaycalendar.com, let me just first say happy belated birthday to faithful listener Debbie Clark. These greetings from Randy and Ashley. And me. So Monday the 30th, it's National Bubble Wrap Day. Bet you can't pop just one. It's also National Croissant Day. Always sounds like you got something caught in your throat. Croissant Day. Tuesday the 31st is Hot Chocolate Day. And it's also Backward Day. Now this could be fun. You could have dinner for breakfast, or when you pick up the phone say goodbye instead of hello, or wear your shirt backward. Wednesday the 1st is National Dark Chocolate Day. It's also National Get Up Day, reminding us to pick ourselves up when we've fallen and give it another go. I'm looking right now at a little sign in our office that says, when you stumble, make it part of the dance. February 1st is also National Freedom Day, honoring the signing by President Abraham Lincoln of a joint House and Senate resolution that later became the 13th Amendment to the Constitution outlawing slavery. February 1st, 1865. Thursday the 2nd, of course, it's Groundhog Day. What the heck does a rodent know about meteorology? Thursday is also Optimist Day and Tater Tot Day. I love tater tots. Well, everybody in the United States does because we go through 3.5 billion with a B every year. Friday the 3rd is Bubblegum Day. And by the way, the largest bubble ever blown, 20 inches in diameter back in 2004. Friday is also Wear Red Day, raising awareness about heart disease in women. We just lost Lisa Marie Presley. And February the 3rd is the day the music died. February 3rd, 1959, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper died in a plane crash in Iowa. Saturday the 4th, it's ice cream for breakfast. Also Homemade Soup Day. Let that simmer all day long for aromatherapy. And it's Thank Your Mail Carrier Day. And then on Sunday, it's National Weather Person's Day. From weather spotters to certified meteorologists, bless their little Dopplers. Okay, so finally took down the Christmas lights and the Christmas tree. You can see a video about how I keep my outdoor lights all nice and neat and separated each year. With each strand I take down, I make a nice coil and put it in a plastic grocery bag. Because when you toss them into the tub, no matter how neatly they're wrapped, just like coat hangers, they're going to entangle themselves. But the bags keep each individual strand separated. And I am keeping my vow of keeping Christmas throughout the year. And as I said on an earlier podcast, I can blame glitter on our Christmas cards for helping to keep that spirit because, yep, even my latest vacuuming of just a few days ago, I could still see the glitter in the rug. And my portable battery-powered vacuum has a headlight on it, which is really cool. And that just highlights the glistening glitter in my rug. And speaking of my vacuum, it's been spying on me. Now, we live out in the woods, and we have to have a hotspot for our Wi-Fi. And you know how when you connect, wherever you are, it'll give you different options as far as connecting to Wi-Fi. But as I said, out here in the woods, it just shows up as our family Wi-Fi. And then I started seeing this Tineco, Tineco, I guess, or Tineco. And I'm thinking, where in the heck is that coming from that I have Wi-Fi accessibility? And a few weeks went by and it would still pop up there. And I'm thinking, where have I seen that name? And then it hit me. That's the brand name of my vacuum. And how creepy is it that when the vacuum is on charge and I'm plugged into the wall, it's providing Wi-Fi access? I mean, this is beyond me. So what information has my vacuum cleaner been sucking up from my brain and distributing to who knows where? So now, after it's charged, I unplug it. Look at me outsmarting a battery-powered vacuum cleaner. I want to switch gears here and talk about our elementary school years. I've often said that instead of high school reunions, I wish I could connect with my elementary school friends. I mean, some of the bonds you had in those years when your personality and you were developing as a person, those formative years, your elementary school classmates were part of that. It's amazing how many times somebody from my elementary school days pops into my brain. One such person was a guy named Jerry. And I think of Jerry on bitter cold days when my hands get numb and hurt. I can remember being in 3rd grade at Germantown Elementary School. It was a bitter cold day and class had just gotten underway. And in walked Jerry. His face was so red from the cold, he still had his gloves on, and he was crying. And the teacher directed him to the sink and instructed him to wash his hands with cold water. Obviously, he had had to walk or ride his bike on this cold, cold day. And Jerry was a good-sized guy, and I just knew he had to be hurting for him to cry in front of his classmates. And there's days now, as an adult, when I'm outside and my fingers hurt so bad, and sometimes you do feel like crying, and I think of Jerry. Isn't that strange? And I say a little blessing of wonder where he is now, and I hope his fingers are warm. Yeah, how cool or cold would it be to reconnect with some of our elementary friends? And I saw this meme just this week, and I've got to share it with you. It's from a site called Happy Soul. And with everybody freaking out about the price of eggs right now, this just really struck home. Back in my day, there was so much toilet paper and eggs that we would throw them at the houses of people we didn't like. Remember the days of toilet papering somebody's front yard? I'm going back to the late 60s, early 70s. I'll never forget hearing from a friend of mine who was a youth leader, and the youth group that she worked with wanted to toilet paper the pastor's front yard and his trees. Well, it turns out he caught him in the act. He actually cursed him. I guess he didn't quite realize that it was an honor for the youth to toilet paper your yard. But anyway, with toilet paper and eggs like gold today, we wouldn't dare waste them on somebody else's house. Let's see how you did on the Brain Buster. 22% of men have neglected going on a second date with someone because of this. Because of what? A, she was too flirty with other guys. B, she talked too much about her ex. Or C, she was wearing too much perfume. And the answer is C, wearing too much perfume. But I don't know, which would be worse? Halitosis, like bad breath, or too much perfume? I mean, it's two opposite ends of the stink syndrome. Anyway, thanks for joining me this week on the podcast. Share the site with others. I'd love to hear from you. My email address is right there at the website breakfastwithbarrylee.com. Also, keep an eye out for my YouTube videos. Little 30-second looks at life. In closing, with Thursday being Optimist Day, the definition of a real optimist is someone who falls from the 16th floor of a building and on his way down says, "So far, so good." Have a blessed week.